What's up, Facebook family, Instagram family? How's it going? Happy Saturday. I'm excited. This is your host, Kaya Redford, with Global Transformation Academy, and we are here to inspire, elevate, take our lives to the next level. Yes? 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 Well, tell you what, I'm really honored and privileged here. As you can see, I've got this globe, which represents really what we're about, Global Transformation Academy. And when I think about transformation, it's really about you and I first. We got to start with home, and then we get to help and inspire the world to become the best that it can be. So I'm going to focus on a quick little lesson and the reason why we're here with you today. And I have a quick question for you. Have you noticed that most people know what they need to do? You know, we go into all these different companies and offices and we speak to these people and we ask them, I'm going to ask you the same question. Do you know someone who's super successful in your industry? So if you're in real estate, someone who's perhaps the number one person, number one agent in your office. If you're in mortgage lending, someone who closes the most amount of loans, does the biggest amount of business. If you're in financial services, the person who's the top dog, all right? Or if you're in the car industry or network marketing or anywhere where there's entrepreneurs, leaders, influencers, and salespeople. So do you know someone who is outstandingly successful in one of those areas? Of course you do. Of course you do, right? And so my question, and I always ask this to people, is if you were to guess what they do on a daily basis, right? If you were to guess what they do on a daily basis, in other words, if you were to guess what time they wake up in the morning, you know, do they go to the gym? Do they not? What are their morning rituals? Do they meditate? Do they read books? Do they, get a jump start out of the day? What is their mental attitude when they wake up? What time do they, get to the office? Actually, one of our dear friends, Christian Fuentes, right? You guys probably know a little bit about Christian and Jeanette Fuentes, great couple. And I remember meeting him and talking to him about his morning rituals. And he gets up, he goes to the gym, he works out, and he comes home and he still has time to cook breakfast for his own kids after his workout and still is perhaps one of the first people at the office. So if you know someone who's super successful and if you were to guess what they do on a daily basis, right? And you were to say, hey, I'm gonna kind of write down here, I'm gonna write down the things that I know that they do. And maybe you don't know exactly, but you got a kind of a somewhat accurate idea of what they do, right? And you would probably create a list. Maybe they've even said to you, right? A lot of these top people, agents, producers, entrepreneurs, leaders, they get up in front of us and they tell us what they do. So we know what they do because they tell us what they do, right? They give us the steps. And so we all know what we need to do by listening to what they share, right? Right? And yet, so the question is, do you know what you need to do to be successful in your life? Do I know? Do we know what we need to do? I'd like to present for your mature consideration that we all do, yes? So type in the comments, if you're here on Facebook Live, type in the comments, yes, I pretty much know what I need to do. I need to wake up, I need to exercise, I need to eat right, I need to pick up the phone and, make phone calls, I need to, hustle, I need to take action, I need to get out of my procrastination, get out of my fear, and I need to just level up and step up to the plate. Most of us know what we need to do, right? Okay, so my next question is, if I were to ask you to, with a pen, to write down what those things are that you know what you need to do, we'd all have a full list, right? Right? Wake up early, right? I'm actually gonna go over here right now. You're gonna do what? You're gonna wake up early, right? You're gonna wake up early. Jocko Willink, by the way, shout out to Jocko. Jocko is actually, as you guys may know, he's the former commander of the Navy SEALs, right? So he trained SEAL Team 1, SEAL Team 2, SEAL Team 3. He was in Iraq, in Afghanistan. I mean, he's the trainer, the commander of the Navy SEALs. And he has a philosophy that we all should get up at 4:30 a.m., right? So getting up early, right? So let's go over here. Getting up early, 4:30 a.m. Number 2, do some form of exercise, right? There's a philosophy that when you get your body in motion, you get your muscles and your energy flowing, you actually create emotion. So motion creates emotion. Write that down. Motion creates emotion. I'm going to put that in green. Right? Motion creates emotion. So a lot of people, they don't have quite the passion and the hunger and the excitement. Why? Because they're not getting themselves moving. You got to get in the gym. I don't care if you don't like the gym, just go for a walk, go for a jog. I actually went on a jog on the beach, Newport Beach this morning, which was fantastic. My gosh, what a feeling, right? That gives you emotion. And then number 3, right? Some form of, personal growth. So reading a book, or meditating. What is that doing? That's sort of stimulating the mind, right? Getting your mind fine-tuned, right? Like sharpening your saw of your mindset. So reading, meditating. And then eventually what you want to do is you want to take action. So, and there's a bunch of other stuff. Most people know what they need to do. And taking action, taking action includes what? Picking up the phone. Knocking on the what? Knocking on the what? Knocking on the what? Knocking on the doors, right? Prospecting, getting out there. I don't care if you're not even in sales. Right? We're all influencers, right? Even if you think you're not in sales, we all sell the value that we bring to the marketplace and to the world. We all are in sales. If you're a mom, you're selling your son or daughter on getting up, going to school, getting good grades, and they'll have a good life. You're selling your kids on brushing their teeth, cleaning up their room. I don't care. We're all in sales. Influence is sales, right? So these are some basic things that we get to do every single day. And I already know you're doing it. The question is, are you doing this consistently, right? And that's the problem, is that most people know what they need to do, but they don't do it, right? And that's what this conversation is about. And the topic of this whole talk today is really about that. Most people know what they need to do, but they don't do what they know. And so there is a gap between knowing, right, knowledge, and action. There's a gap, right? People know what they need to do, but they don't take the action. And what's in the gap? And that's really what, at the cornerstone of what we do and why I love this, is I like to find out what's in the freaking gap. If you know what you need to do, and I know what I need to do, if we all know what we need to do, and we don't do it consistently, why? If it's something that's going to help you, most people want to be financially free. Most people want to have great relationships. Most people want to be healthy. If you want all this stuff, and you know what's going to get you there, and I know what's going to get me there, but if we don't do it, so what is that about? Why do I know what I need to do, but I don't do it? And that's what this is about. So over the next few weeks, every single day, we're going to be doing some learnings. We're going to grow together. I'm honored for you to and me to learn from you, and you learn from me, and us to learn from each other, for us to grow together in this conversation, really ultimately to have the very, very best life. And then I believe truly, when you have the best life, when I have the best life, when we all step up to the plate, ultimately what I believe will happen is that when we change, we can actually then help and change the psychology and the mindset around the world. And in the world, as you think about it, there's a lot of It's a great world. It's a beautiful world. The most greatest, amazing people and places and locations and nature and animals. And it's a great world. And yet there is some stinky thinking in this world too. And we get to be the change, right? You've heard this before, right? I think Mahatma Gandhi, right? Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change that you want to see in the world. So we all get to be the change. In order to be the change, we get to look in the mirror and say, hey, how can I level up? And that's what this is about. So I really want to acknowledge all of you for joining us, and thank you. And I look forward to having some big breakthroughs, big discoveries, which will ultimately help you definitely increase your productivity, help you make more money, have you have an even better life. And hopefully this will impart this on your family, your kids, your greater family, the community, the world at large. So that being said, I want to say it's an honor to be with you today. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to set daily times. We're going to stick to those times, and we're going to be sharing these things, these tools with you on an ongoing basis. Kaya Redford, and I'm at your service. Talk to you guys soon.